It's alive.
We're here. Look who's joined me, Mr.
I
Rico. How are we doing, my
I'm
friend?
digging this. I'm just absolutely digging this. I feel like again, it feels like a podcast type thing. Like, welcome to the studio. It's Whip and Rico. It's just got sort of that vibe to it.
Right. I just need you to be sitting here instead of this towel.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll get it eventually.
That doesn't look like a very comfortable chair, though. You'll need a better chair for me. I
It's
need
a
a
high
comfortable.
chair. It's one of those high
Oh,
chairs.
what are you saying? I need a high chair. I'm a
No,
big baby. What are you saying?
it's just you won't have to get up. You just slide off.
Oh, there's a point. Yep, yep.
Yeah.
How about a lazy boy that's level? That would be, better.
Well, you don't want that because then you turn into my bumper, and he can't get up without it.
I'm okay
And
with that. I'm okay with that.
so let's say a few hellos. I said it in chat, but I can do it again here. We got Sir Squatchy, as he likes to be referred to as, and my buddy Shady, hey Shady, and Miss Kitty, and Johnny No Shoes, and Xanadude, and the Captain,
My eye is
Captain
burning.
McReynolds. Kevin's made it. Hey, Kevin. I don't know if you remember Kevin, but Kevin's a local here near Chicago, and he and I drove out to North Carolina to go get a cat from Lisa and John.
Oh, that's that Kevin. Kevin, yeah, I see Kevin comes in my streams once in a while. We have a lot in common. He's a Bears fan, unlike you being a traitor to your own family.
To my nation, what is it? Not my nation, but we got Ian. I think that's Ian, right? How do you
Oh
say
yeah,
that? IAIN.
my eye is just burning. All of a sudden, I'll be right back. I gotta go. I don't know what the hell. It's just burning. So I'll be right back.
Put something in there.
I can go wash it real quick. It's stinging.
Oh, he's from England. That's why I can't say it, because I can't say anything from England. Jeff Kane. Hashtag skip. All right. And J Rock, what you going on? Too Cooley, 3G, and Jenna, Uncle Smiley, Miss Lori. And if I didn't say it already, Too Cooley. Did I say it already? It doesn't matter. I'll say it again. Christina Joseph. I don't know. I apologize if you've been here before, but that's a name I don't recognize. Vanoski. Hey, buddy. Robert Reed. I got all kinds of people. Miss Dee Dee.
Come here
And that might be it for now. Let's see. A little
and say
further.
hi to Wally. Gotta say hi to
Hey,
Wally.
Wally. Wally. Hey, hey. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you.
Who is that?
Wally.
Who is that? Who is that?
Hey, Dix, what's going on? Shane's Tanks and Bowls. I'm going to see you in a couple days, as I am with Skitty. I get
I
to
did
meet
not.
all the cool kids.
I did not know what you were saying there because you said, "Hey, Dix, what's going on?" And in my mind, I heard, "Hey, Dix, what's going on?" I was like, "Wow, don't be rude to your viewers."
she, she is fairly new. You may not know her yet
Well,
because
I don't know
you've
why my
been.
eye is just burning all of a sudden. I don't know
Well,
what the
go
hell.
put some drops in it or something. Don't you?
I
Do you
don't
have
have
any?
any. I
Oh
don't.
no,
I went and washed it, but it's still just burning. Anyways, hi
Tracy
everybody.
here, Tracy. And, oh, let's see.
Wally, 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 Wally.
We got the
How you doing,
Geekster.
buddy? It's good to see everybody. Hello. Hope everybody's doing good. There's Nathan, Harvey, and Shane. Nathan,
I don't know what that means, but that's funny. I said hi to Nathan.
I said happy birthday to him the other day. I don't know if he saw it.
You did. Well, I didn't even realize. I am so bad with birthdays. If it doesn't come up on Facebook, I don't know it's your birthday. Miss Foxy, thank you for the send over. That's very cool of you. 37 people in here already. Holy cow.
Put a pirate patch. Arr, it's driving me nuts. Sketters.
So I think that takes care of the
highs.
Conversation for now.
Thanks for coming, everybody.
Yeah, all right, we're done.
So what's going on? What's happening? What's been going on with the with you and the community and everything? Everything good? I haven't.
Scotty bought a new house. That happened.
Yes, I remember that. I remember him mentioning that. He's in the process of moving.
Yep. And it's Skip, not Skip. It is, oh my God, now she's got me doing it. It's Pep's birthday tomorrow, I think.
We can go look. There's a calendar on fishfam.link and it tells you birthdays too.
Say it, Angel. And Miss Lisa's here.
Miss Lisa.
And thank you for the happy anniversary wishes. It was my anniversary yesterday.
Oh, how many years now?
Oh, just a couple. I think that was 32.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right about same as us, right there. You're same amount. Tomorrow is Pooplin, and Big Tank Hank birthdays.
Oh, is Boots and Cats here? I see. No, that's a lot of kitties after Lisa. Okay. What was that? I was distracted.
Oh, birthdays. Pooplin tomorrow and Big Tank Hank tomorrow as well. Two good birthdays tomorrow.
Oh,
good birthdays. Like there's a
couple bad ones out there once in a while, but you know.
Hi, Elfish. Elfish and his lovely wife, they sent me some no-bake cookies, and they were delish. They were so good. So thank you so much again.
Elfish, he's a good dude.
Yeah, they seem very nice. We look like brothers. We're brothers.
Just with different mothers and a different dad.
Yeah, in different parts of the country. Well, not really. I mean, I mean, not too far away. I mean, I was South Bend, so I mean, that's still a couple hours from you, maybe 2-3 hours at the most.
Yeah,
South Bend?
probably no more than 3.
Yeah,
because I'll be through Chicago in 2. So it depends on how far away from Chicago you were.
South Bend was where I was born, under the watchful eyes of Touchdown Jesus.
Yep, you know it.
So if you don't put a pic of Rico on your thumbnail, he does show up. Yeah, unfortunately.
Yep.
But hey, there could be worse teams to be fans of. I don't mind the Steelers. I like the Steelers. I've always, I wouldn't say that I'm a Steelers fan, but I've always liked them a lot more than most other teams in the NFL. They're not one of the teams.
I kind of like that with the Niners, whereas I don't particularly like them, but I don't dislike them as much as the other teams.
I did dislike them when they went on that tear there in the the 80s and 90s.
How can you dislike Joe? That guy was the most Melvin dude ever.
Yeah, and Joe was from Notre Dame. It's where he went to school, was in Notre Dame. Joe Montana was one of my favorite quarterbacks ever. You're right. Steve Young, well, I mean, he had some talent, but just not the same. But Joe Montana, hell yeah.
Yep.
I had Montana's rookie card for the longest time. I finally had to sell it.
Dang it.
Yeah. I still got my Walter Payton rookie, though. That's the important one. I've got just about every Walter Payton card from any company up until 1995. Just about. I'm missing a few of the later ones from the 90s, but I've got his rookie and I've got all the other cards because it was easy in the 70s and 80s. It was really just tops.
Right. Yeah, there weren't 74 different companies doing it.
Yeah. And there'd be like 1 or 2 cards of him for the entire year. Well, by the time you get into the late 80s, there's probably, 50 cards of him, even though he had already stopped playing.
Mm-hmm. Well, he went 87, right? Is when he quit? When he retired?
Honestly, don't remember now. It might have been even later than that.
He retired the same year as Fensick.
Wasn't 87 though, right? That was just the next year after. No, I think it was 88.
That's 2 years after 85. My math is bad, but I know 87 is 2 years after 85.
Well, 86 is when it actually happened.
But
Right?
it was the 85 season. And he
True.
retired after the 87 season.
All right, you might be right. Let's look
I
it
don't
up.
know if I am. You can look it up. Go ahead.
We're going to look it up.
Prove me wrong.
We're going to look it up because I honestly do not know, and I should.
Let's see if the old interweb tells us first.
Adam McReynolds.
I was 2 in 1987. Oh, nice. Yeah, I was a little older than that.
All right, so his college career, 1990s. Yep, 1987.
I thought so.
Good job.
Because I just remember that being a weird year. They went to the Super Bowl, and then they should have gone to the Super Bowl, and then he had like a very subpar year after that, and then he walked away. Like I think his 87 year, he had 400 or 600 yards or something like that. And it was.
I think he was heartbroken too from the Super Bowl when he didn't get the score. You know, everybody else did.
Mike did him dirty.
Yeah, and he did even say that was one of his. Mike Ditka said that was his biggest regret, not regret. Ha by not letting him score instead of the fridge on that one play.
Right.
Walter's
At least give him a shot.
Walter was my. He was always my hero though when I was younger, you know, because of his work ethic and his sportsmanship. You know, that's why the Walter Payton award is for the sportsman of the year. You know, because that's just who he was.
Yep. And his work ethic or his work training, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. That thing was well documented and
yeah.
That hill's gone now, unfortunately. But
13 years in the NFL, and he missed one single game as a running back. That's pretty damn impressive, you know.
Yep.
And I tell the story about the when he set the record for most yards in a game, 274 yards rushing, something like that. He had the flu. He had a 104-degree temperature, and he still ran.
It's a Chicago thing.
Jordan
gets the flu, and then he just lights everybody up.
I'd be Whizzle. Anyways,
so I wanted to talk about maybe where do you get your fish? Where do you get your livestock is probably a better question because not everybody keeps fish, but most of us do here. But I know there's some shrimp people out there. Miss Lisa, she sells her. I don't know if you heard, but she sells snails now.
Oh no, that I did not.
Yeah.
Mystery snails or what kind?
You know what? I'm a bad rep. Lisa, if you can hear me, type in there what snails you got. I think it's mystery snails and
assassins.
Something else.
I wanted some of those rabbit snails or devil snails, whatever.
I think those are two different ones. Rabbit snails are the ones that bounce around, hence the name rabbit. And the devil's horn, I think, is the other one, that huge black, nasty-looking thing.
But they're the same shape, though, right? That I forgot what it was.
Yeah, long, spiky-looking thing. Yep.
John McKenzie being very jealous. He's a Patriots fan.
Oh, don't get me started on the Patriots. I might lose a
subscriber
here,
I
actually came. Hey Ross, what's going on, bud? I actually came around on Tom. I actually kind of like Tom. I hated him for the first 24 years that he played, but the last 8 years he played was pretty good. I liked him.
I'm sort of the opposite, a little bit. I liked him earlier.
Oh, really?
Yeah, didn't like him towards the end and more things.
When he won another Super Bowl without the Patriots.
Yeah.
And basically gave, everybody else the middle finger because he was supposed to be this, system quarterback. He just basically said, "Oh, yeah, watch this."
Yeah. Definitely talented individual. Definitely. There's no way you can take that away,
There it is. She's got mystery snails, Nyrite. I can't say it.
Nyrite.
And ram's horn.
And then
Oh.
rabbits, trapdoor, and pagoda, but they're not on the site yet. Nice, very cool. Glad you're branching out into snails. I do want to get some more, so maybe I'll take a look over there.
Well, they got to do something with that betta system. I assume
Yeah.
that's where she's keeping them, right? Oh, she's got assassin snails too. I've always wanted to try those.
So where do I get my fish? I do. Somebody, Tracy, I think, said aquahuna. I do really like aquahuna, mostly because I'm on a very strict budget, and they usually are the cheapest. They have the cheapest shipping, and usually the prices are, if they aren't the very cheapest, with the shipping they become the cheapest.
Right.
And I've bought from them 14 times, and I've had 2 DOAs. One was just one shrimp out of a dozen shrimp, and then one was a one CPD out of their tiny CPDs. And both times they made it right. It was only one out of all of those. But I have bought from Dan's Fish. I would love to buy from Dan's Fish more often, but again, it's budget. It's not that you don't get what you pay for with Dan's Fish. You don't. I mean, you do definitely. It's just that it is that much more expensive, but it's worth it. I just can't afford it. So the rest of my fish and my plants mostly come from the community.
Yeah, I need to start doing that more too.
Yeah,
because I mean, like I know. See, I say no, but it's not really. I don't know. Who was it that was selling Cory cats, like the gold lasers and stuff? Somebody had a bunch of them. I don't know that they're still doing it, but I was going to reach out. Oh, they're not in the beta system.
I did get some.
Going to take half of that system down and put up a. Okay.
I did get some Corys from Maria Z. I got some of the long fin pandas from her a few years ago, and they're still doing great.
Oh, you know who it was? It was your oh my gosh, come on, Lady Diane.
Oh, okay.
Right, your little. She never comes here anymore. Oh, hi.
She did that on purpose. Yeah. She has a lot of cool shrimp, a lot of just very cool fish. Lady Diane.
I'm not doing shrimp probably, but I might do once I get my little 14-gallon. I might do shrimp. I shouldn't say I'm not going to do it because I'm still open for ideas on the. Obviously, I can't put anything big in there. It's got to be something that can happily live in a 14-gallon.
Yeah, and that's great for shrimp. Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be a great shrimp tank. And there's other stuff you could put in there too with it, right? But
yeah, small fish. Then I don't want them to eat the shrimplets. So
yeah, maybe some mystery snails and some shrimp, or not mystery. Maybe ram's horns. I like ram's horns, even though some people consider them pests. I love ram's horns, especially once they start getting big, and it can get some cool colors on them. I'm going to do some more shrimp in the tub outside. So I don't know if I'm going to put any fish in the pond this year. The whole area just needs a lot of work. The pond it just needs a lot of work. So I don't know if I'm going to put any fish in it this year. But I do want to do my tub. I have a 70-gallon tub that I'm thinking I'll take my guppies back outside for the clash. That's my regular routine. I put those in there. But I'm thinking I'm going to put some cherries in there too this year outside. And I think we're going to have a long season because, again, I told you the other day, I mowed for the very first time. And I don't know that I've ever mowed in April before, but I had to mow in March. March 31st, I mowed the lawn, which is amazing.
That is incredible. Well, I could have mowed. What
I had to
a month ago, maybe whatever. Remember when we were having that record heat?
Yeah.
I mean, I physically could have mowed. There wouldn't have been anything to mow really, but I mean, I could have. And now, we just had like 2 different sessions of 3 to 4 inches of snow, and luckily it melted right away. But
Yeah.
most everywhere around here, except for where we're working, it
We
must be colder there.
we got a little bit of snow here, but it didn't stick at all. I mean, it didn't. It's very, very green out there. I should have set up OBS so I could see out the window. Because the lawn actually looks really good. Show off the lawn.
Well, go ahead. I can entertain for a minute if you want.
Oh no, because then I got to go through all the hoops and stuff. And I
Oh,
don't,
yeah.
yeah, don't worry. That's right. I'll do it another time. Yeah, it's.
So,
But
what about
it's early. That's crazy. So maybe it'll be an early season for fish as well.
hopefully?
Yeah.
Because I think I want to try tubbing. I have a 130-gallon horse trough. You know, the galvanized
Yeah.
steel ones.
Yeah.
I think I read, although I've heard it both ways, but most people say you should paint the inside with a some kind of like rubber coating or something, so that the whatever galvanized the steel doesn't leach into the water. I don't know if there's any truth to that or not, but I've
Yeah, I
heard
don't
bad
know.
things about it.
I honestly don't know. I've never had one.
But I only got it for a turtle. So, you know, I had a big snapping turtle that I raised up from this big to this big, and then I ended up letting him go because I'm like, man, you're too big to be getting stuck in this little tiny thing. So
Yeah. I'm scared of snapping turtles. I've had
yeah,
a couple of run-ins with them, and they they're scary.
yeah,
You
I
know?
wasn't afraid of mine, although he would have ate my face had I let him. But
Yeah.
I don't know, when you grow up with when they grow up with you, they're less intimidating. But I had two. Well, one in my front yard because the county out here, the county or the township, whoever's in charge of the culverts, doesn't maintain them, and they just fill up with water now. So you know, there are mosquito pits and
Gotcha.
everything. So my neighbor and I were kind of cutting a trough in so that water would drain down into the main whatever it's a wetland kind of area.
Oh, gotcha.
And I hear clunk with my rake, you know, and I'm pulling on it. I'm like, what the hell? Who put a rock in here? And I almost reached down there, but I was too lazy and I didn't want to get wet. So I jacked it out of there. And it was a snapping turtle that was probably about that big. And yeah, he scared me. So I did get him picked up and I put him in the back of my truck. And I'm going to the river. And what do I come to as I'm crossing a major highway? There's another one crossing the road. So I picked him up and I threw him in the back of the truck too. And I went another half mile down the road, put them both in the river, and they're living happily ever after, I hope. But,
do you guys ever get frogs that just cover the road surface like certain times of the year?
no, not like I've seen that. But
Yeah.
where they're just hopping. I think that happens in Wisconsin.
It happens here, and it's disgusting because you can't help but run over. I mean, there's thousands of them, and they're just all over the road.
I'm almost 100% sure that happens in Wisconsin.
You could just hear them popping as you're running them over. It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible. It's so bad. It's so bad, and there's nothing you can do because we only have one road into the area where we live. There's no other way to get to our house. You can't just wait because they're going to be there all night. There's nothing you could do. Maybe get out a big broom and start sweeping ahead. I don't know, but it's not good. It's not good.
And it's not as bad, but it was still pretty weird that I knew a guy back in the day when I was working. He was kind of a sadistic jerk, but he was my boss, so I had to deal with him. And he liked to run over dead animals.
Mm-hmm.
He loved it. I don't know. If there was a dead animal on the road, he'd swerve and hit it. And one day he hit one, and you could literally hear it pop. I mean, it exploded basically.
Yeah.
And that was the only time he ever looked at me and looked like, oh, he might have thrown up because it was a bad one.
Michelle used to have a white minivan, and she's always been. We always joke around with her. She's death for like suicidal animals. Like they hunt her down because she has hit so many animals. And I've been with her, and it's not her fault. Like she had this white minivan, and birds would come down and swoop on it and hit the side of it all the time. There'd be a thump hitting the side of it, and it was a bird. And we had this corner by our house. it was pretty sharp, and she came around that corner one time, and there was 2 chipmunks lined up perfectly, one on either wheel, and she ran them. It's and
She
it's
got
and
them
it kills
both.
her. And it kills her. I mean, she is, she's so, it just destroys her. So we named that Chipmunk Corner after that. But so many times, animals will cross the road and then notice it's her coming and come back into the road so she can hit them. It's constant. The poor woman is just destroyed every time too.
Oh, I'm mad, and even if they're already hit, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm a mess.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
broke down. I mean, I was a lot younger, but I remember going to work, and there was a dog had been hit, in the middle of a town I had to pass through, and
Oh,
I was a freaking ugly cry, getting to work, puffy eyed, and I'm like,
yeah.
oh, I'm a tough tree trimmer, but
Doggy.
Doggy got killed. Oh yeah, that was not good.
Yeah. A Canada goose, Kevin talked about. Yeah, I had one of those. Oh no, a turkey. A turkey scared the crap out of me because I was just driving along on the other road over here, and it flew right at the window level, right out of the bushes, right next to the road. I didn't know what it was. It was big. It was a good sized turkey, and it flew right at that level, basically eye level, and hit the windshield. And I squeaked. There's no way around it. I probably screamed like a very little girl. If Michelle was with me, she would have laughed because that's her favorite thing ever. When she hears men screaming like women, that's her favorite. She just always makes her laugh. She absolutely loves that.
That's awesome. Oh, I did not know that about her. That's very cool.
That's her favorite thing in the world. If it's in a movie or something and some guy screams, and she just every time it kills her. She loves it.
Scotty, congrats
on the house and stuff. That's exciting time. Although I don't, actually moving. I'm never doing that again, ever again. Take me out of here.
One more for me. One more. Well, 2. Yeah. When I die, they're gonna have to move me.
Yeah, same. That's it. They'll take me out of here in a body bag. I'm done with the moving. Unless we win, like Powerball or something, then I'll have to move out for a little bit while we, make this house amazing. We talked about it just because the Powerball's been up there, so we talk about we always do the pipe dreams and talk about what we would do, and
me too.
It wasn't anything. We don't have, we're simple. We don't need a whole lot. We would just get our house fixed up because it needs a lot of work. We would make sure that all of our friends and family had a place to live without paying for it, and their kids had education and health care, stuff like that. Make sure all that's covered. And then we would just spend our money on friends and family, just giving stuff away.
Yep, that's what Chris and I were talking about. She wants to give. I mean, she had it broke down. Like we're gonna win this, and we're giving $5 million to your sister and $5 million to my brother, and we'll give $5 million to your dad.
Why are you making the voice? Well, that's sort of Crystal.
That's my Crystal voice. I don't know. She doesn't sound anything
like that. I heard her talk. It doesn't sound anything like that.
It's my girl voice. I don't know. I can't do the high pitched
stuff. Well, first we're going to give $5 million to your brother.
That's just creepy.
What's better than
yeah, with phlegm stuck in my throat.
That was still one of my favorite moments there. I don't know why. Well, I've done that too. I've done that numerous times. I've had that happen to me, so I know exactly what you were feeling. But it made me laugh so hard. Yeah, yeah, you're like, oh,
what the hell?
Yeah,
what was
that? My woman voice is sexy sounding, of course. Yes. Yeah, Lisa, Crystal, Michelle, it's like that. You guys.
They don't, but I can't. No. I can't make a woman's voice. I am not Jim Carrey.
Yeah. I have heard Michelle make noises like what you know, with this. No dirty jokes, people. Be nice. It's another day. We went back to the Chicago area to visit my grandma when we were trying to decide where to move. Because we were leaving Arizona. We wanted to look where I came from, which is the Chicago.
Hold that thought. Bipolar came in and I didn't see him, and now he's leaving. So I want to say hi and then bye.
Hi, Ben.
Sorry about that, buddy.
Oh, okay. Stopping in to hit the like and say hello. Back to work I go. Have to lurk. So he just came in.
Okay, good.
So we go back to to South Bend area to see my grandma and to check out the area, see if we want to move there or up here. We took a month and did this big trip and everything. But anyways, so I wanted to see the old house where I grew up, and so my grandma's driving down this road, and my grandma drove like a bat out of hell. She was, at the time, she was probably she had to be in her 70s, I think, at the time, but she still just drove like crazy. That she always did. And we're driving down this road, and the neighborhood's starting to look a little familiar. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, this looks a little. And then she goes, there it is. And she points back as we're already like, and she's doing like 70 down this little 2-lane road. So the house is already gone. And I went, Grandma, I wanted to see it. And Michelle was in the back seat, and she went, ha ha. She never laughs like that, but she let out this guffaw. That's the only way to. It was hilarious. And I was like, what the hell was that? And she was dying. She was laughing so hard because I wanted to see the house. I wanted to just maybe pull over and just look, and
right.
And no, my grandma's like, there it is. And it's already, half a mile back. She's like,
that's a grandma thing.
Light speed.
My grandma used to drive like that too.
That out of hell?
Yeah, just for not the whole time she was a grandma, but there's like a time period in there, like the 60s and the 70s, where they just drive like
my grandma.
They got to get there before they die.
Yeah, always. She always drove really fast. Always. Ever since I was a little kid, we lived in the area. We go places. She just always was. She had a lead foot, except when she'd merge on the freeway. Then she'd almost stop, and I was like, "Grandma, no, that's not how you do it."
I was so frustrated. Speaking of stopping at dumb places, I know we didn't get a lot of snow, and people are not in the rhythm of driving in the snow. But good Lord, people, don't stop at the bottom of the hill. If you don't have 4-wheel drive, you're not going to get up the hill. Jeez. It isn't rocket science here, people.
Yeah, I am looking forward to the season being over with.
Yep,
it's coming quick. It is coming quick. It'll be nice. Next week I saw a lot of 60s, 90s, a lot of 60s coming up. I think Saturday is the last of the cold days, and then I think we're done. I really do. I think, and again, we would often get snow as late as Mother's Day here where we live. So it's very early for us, and it's really looking forward to it. We used to need 2 feet, yeah, with the clutch.
Yep. I don't think my grandma had a clutch. She didn't drive stick, so, but yeah, she was definitely a 2-foot driver. She'd use her right for the gas and left for the brake.
Oh, really?
Which was always fun because it was never an easy brake. It was like, ooh! Take it easy, Grandma.
Killer Kitty brought up the eclipse. Yeah, we're supposed to have Monday. It's supposed to be totally clear here, and we're right in the middle of it. In fact, there's a state of emergency for the county because of all the people that are going to be here for the eclipse. Just clogging the roads and stuff. Oh. So they've already. It's already a state of emergency. So it'll be interesting to see if we get very many people here. I think we will, just because we're on the lake, so people will want to see it, in that area. So
if it's at all nice, they'll probably be literally on the lake. I mean, that's the best place to view it.
It might.
There's no trees, no nothing around.
Yeah. And
what does that say?
Drove with 2 feet.
No.
No clue. Yep. What Whip said.
No clutch. Yep.
No
Oh, yeah, yeah.
clutch.
That's what you said.
I
No
said no
clutch. Yep,
clue.
that's what. Yeah,
I said no clue.
yeah. Well, that's what I thought he said at first, and I'm like, I don't know what that means. I just had to read it slower.
Dee said I still have my first car that used feet for brakes, like the Flintstones.
And acceleration. Man, my first car, the interior was okay, but how I didn't die driving that car. It was a 73 Nova with the trunk was rusted out. I turned the corner so sharp one time that I actually lost the jack from the trunk into the road because it just slid right through the hole. It had bad tires. One tire wasn't even the right size, and I would do 130 from Whitewater to Madison, which is in Wisconsin. For those of you who don't know, I went to school in Whitewater, and we'd go the hour or so north to Madison to party at the big school at well, anyway, that's a lot of bad things happened to me there that were very good.
Beaver Dam is right there somewhere.
Beaver Dam's the other way. That's on the way towards Milwaukee.
Yeah, good friend of mine went to school there. He went to a boarding school in Beaver Dam.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a little bit. It's about on the same level, but to the east. To the east.
So
towards the lake.
66 Plymouth Fury was my very first car, but I lived in Arizona, so there was no rust, but the paint was just totally oxidized. Like you could just wipe your hand across it, and it was just white. And it was a tan colored car, but it looked white because of all the powdered paint, basically from the sun. It was an Arizona car the entire time. But that thing, I think it's a 384 in it, but it's huge. It's a huge car. It's a 4-door. You could fit 4 people in the front seat. You know, because of bench seats, 4 across the front, 5 across the back. The thing was massive.
Yeah, yeah.
It took
Mine wasn't that big. You know what a Nova is, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I had 7 people in there going 130 on bad tires.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
With a keg. Oh, I had a keg in there too.
We did stupid stuff.
Yeah.
That car would take like a week to get to 60, but once it hit 60, it was gone. You know, it was just, that's when it took off. Once it hit 60, it was gone. But it took forever to get to 60. Yeah.
I remember those back in that was 70s. Was that a 70s vehicle?
Well, it was a 66. Yeah, 66 was the year. But I drove it in the 70s. Yeah.
Because like my dad had a 1970 Ranger before Ranger went, downsized. Once upon a time, Ranger was a great big truck.
Yeah.
I remember laying down in the front seat, me. So, I mean, obviously I wasn't full grown yet, but I mean,
yeah,
I've always been tall and I could lay down in the front seat. That was pretty impressive. I can't, I don't even know if I could sit in a, this way with my legs out in any cars now.
Yeah.
They've shrunk.
did stupid stuff. Never had a Ranger. I did, I had an International Scout that I took the roof off of, the top off. It was a hard top, and never put it back on. So just rain or shine, it was always, so, and it had cloth upholstery, so it wasn't, but
at least there wasn't a roof to trap everything in there and make it smell real good.
Yeah. And again, Arizona.
Yeah, well, that's true.
There wasn't a ton of it was more sun rotted than anything else. My phone just fell.
Oh, I thought you were doing something else.
That was how I met Brookley Bell. That sounds really bad. That sounds really bad. I don't mean,
but almost everybody knows, I think.
Yeah, they know the story.
Well, maybe that Dix. You might have to tell it again. Otherwise, you're casting aspersions on a very sweet girl.
Yes, Brookley Bell. So I used to have a dog named Tucker, and Tucker was a pug. He used to sit right down by my feet all the time. He passed away 2 years now, right about 2 years ago now. Old age. He was 15, heart failure, decimated. He sits right here. He's got his. Still sitting right here next to me. A little dusty, but there's Tucker. Anyways, so Tucker would always sit at my feet, and when I do my live streams, I'd always be looking down and talking to Tucker. And so Brooklyn didn't know. She didn't know I had a dog or anything. She had just first started watching, so she sent a message to her friend Steven and asked him if I was talking to my penis or to
is he okay?
I mean, the Tucker,
That's funny. That story will never not be funny.
Oh, a 98 Beetle. I never had any of the new Beetles. I did have a lot of Volkswagens, though. I've had a lot of Volkswagens.
97.
I had a 68 Bug that was a show bug. I had a lot of Bajas. Never had any like the Thane or the buses. Mostly just, Bajas, though. Because, again, Arizona Bajas are amazing. They can go places the four-wheel drives can't go.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing underneath to get hung up. There's nothing. You get a skid plate under the motor. The master cylinder is up in the wheel well, but that's the only thing that's exposed, and they'd float. So they were a lot of fun to go off-roading in. I even have a Volkswagen tattoo.
Just take the whole thing off.
No. Everybody be gone. Are those moves?
Yeah, I never had anything cool like that. I just had the Nova. That was my cool car. I did have a what was it? It was an '89 Firebird Formula, that had the T-tops, the 350 and all that stuff. That was a pretty cool car. But I tried to drive that through a Datsun, so that didn't work out so great for me.
That's a great segue because I did have a Datsun, a Nissan 240Z, the 240, the older one.
That might have been what I hit. Because, believe it or not, I am not a patient person.
Oh, no.
And when the speed limit's 55 and people are doing 45, Whip gets a little anxious. And I said, F these people. And I passed like 6 cars, and the 7th car turned left. They were slowing down because that guy was making a left-hand turn onto a side road.
Mm.
And all I remember from him was his head bouncing off the off the side glass of his. Meanwhile, my head went through the windshield.
Wow.
And I remember I watched him get thrown all the way across because he wasn't wearing a seatbelt. I wasn't either. That's why my head went through the windshield. But he was thrown all the way across into the passenger seat. And I just remember watching him like slow motion going, whoa. And I spun around and went into the ditch that way. He spun around into the ditch that way. Oh, it was a mess. And then I looked at my poor car. One of the T-tops went down the road about 400 feet like a Frisbee. It was a thing. And then I had they only gave me enough money. I went from having a Firebird to a Sunbird.
Oh yeah, my ex-wife had one of those little thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tucker clip. I have to see which one that is. Which one is that, Deedekins? I gotta check that out.
That's for sure. Yeah, I didn't get hurt at all. I got cut.
She did a clip of this when we were just talking about that. Oh. That's what the clip is. Yeah, you're lucky that you didn't get hurt. What about him? He was okay?
He was limping. And of course, I said, "Are you all right?" And he goes, "I think so." And I said, "Why the didn't you turn your turn signal on?" And he goes, "I thought I did." And the guy behind me is like, he definitely had his turn signal on. And I turn around and he's got his little priest collar thing on. I'm like,
Did you go, Jesus Christ?
Probably just for spite. God.
Hey,
Richard.
What's going on, Richard? 77 vet. Wow.
Man, my dad bought my mom a 72, 4. It was an earlier 70s model. Maybe it was a 76. I'm not 100% sure anymore, but it was candy red.
Never even been in a vet. Never had one. Never had any real cool cars, nothing really, Been in plenty of accidents. That 240Z, the brakes went out. Like there was no brakes. And I was coming up to an intersection. Luckily, it was a very small road, and I was giving a coworker a ride home. So he's in the passenger seat, and we come up to the intersection. I go, dude, there's no brakes. And it's 2 lanes with a turn lane, right? And all 3 lanes are filled. So I went up on the sidewalk between the car and the post for the lights, for the street light,
wow.
for the stoplights, and went right through
Hey,
there.
Thanks for coming.
And then right through the intersection, like cartoons with cars going by, right through, and then pulled over right over there. We made it right through the intersection. And, it was an old 240Z because that was like 1990. And the 240Z was probably like a 70, whatever. So it was, it was pretty old. And so the dashboard was all soft, and he had holes where his fingers were in the dashboard, because he gripped the dashboard so tight. So there was holes there because it was just all sun rotted and stuff. So it was soft, but it was still funny because his holes were like in the dashboard. So
I had a hole in my Nova dashboard that we used to launch not rockets, but
bottle rockets.
Bottle rockets. Yes, thank you. Big Steve. Yeah, we'd wedge them in there into the foam and light it, and it would go right out the window. Except for a couple times when I ended up in the back seat and freaked everybody out.
Hi, M&C.
M&C, how you doing, Mike?
We went off onto the carp thing.
Yeah, we did.
I've been in
I don't even know how we got there. How did we even end up in cars? I don't know.
I don't remember. Somehow we started talking about the first cars, and I've had a lot of pickup trucks. I did get into an accident one time that I was actually proud of, sort of, because I had this. My car was in the shop, so I was driving our camper. I bought a work truck from my father-in-law's. He was a construction worker, and from there, I bought one of their old work trucks, and then we put a steel frame camper on the back of it. The thing was a beast. It was ugly as hell too, because it was an old work truck. They didn't care. It was all white and just a beat up old truck with this big, massive camper on the back of it, camper shell. The big tall one that went over the cab and stuff, and so I'm driving that, and I'm on a 2-lane road. In Arizona, again, 2 lanes, turn lane, 2 lanes go in the other direction. So 5 lanes basically. And this guy gets behind me. We pull up to a school zone, and the speed limit there was 15. So I slow way down, and this guy gets behind me, and I see him doing this behind me. But there's like 2 lanes, so he could easily go around me. I'm like, what is he doing?
Right.
And we pull up to the stop sign, and he does pull up next to me. And I look down at him, and I go, fucking idiot. And I guess he heard me, because when we pulled off from the light, he sped up real quick and got in front of me and slammed on his brakes. I'm like, what are you doing, dumbass? What's going on? And we did that a couple times. I would go on the other lane, and then he would pull in front of me and slam on his brakes again. Well, we got to where the freeway started. We were getting on the freeway, and they were building it. So that was the very first entry onto the freeway, right? Because they were in the process of building. It was the first exit, first entry. So I get over there, and I go to the very far left lane, and he just whips across all of it and gets in front of me again and slams on his brakes. So one more time, I move over, step on the gas. He gets in front of me, puts on his brakes, and I went, nope, I'm done. And I stomped on the gas and just ran into the back of his car. His little car went up on my bumper. So he was like, fishtailing, on my bumper and stuff. And then I slowed down. He pulled off my bumper. His car hit the ground again. And then I pulled up next to him, and he's just like looking up at me, and he's like, you better pull over. And I was like, you better pull over. I don't even know what I was saying. We pulled over, and I start to get out of my truck, and he comes running up to me. I'm not even out of the truck yet. I'm still sitting there, and he runs up to me and he pokes me in the chest and he goes, "Are you a effing idiot?" And then I stood up and the guy's like this big. And I was like, "Are you an effing idiot? Look at your car, look at my truck. Why would you do that?" Because he had like a Lexus or an Infiniti, or I don't know. He had a really nice car.
Right.
And here's this big piece of shit car. And then, once I stood up, and I'm not a big guy, right? I'm pretty average, but he was just that little, and he just like instantly deflated. He was done.
Yep.
He was done. He was very nice after that.
Did I tell you I have a similar, although I never had an accident with him, although I almost killed a lady, but I was cutting through. It was my fault, really. So I should not have gotten as mad as I did, but I did.
Yeah.
That's who I am.
Yep.
I was cutting through the parking lot because it saved me 4 lights. Okay. And they got some construction going on in the strip mall parking lot. They're putting in some kind of new restaurant or whatever. And as I'm going through this not semi, but the gravel trucks, truck drivers, and if there's a truck driver in here, I apologize kind of to you. They're just pains in the ass. They think their shit doesn't stink and they can do whatever the hell they want. And he doesn't even, he looks right at me and doesn't even slow down. He just cuts right in front of me and forces me to pull basically onto the sidewalk of the strip mall. And a woman was coming out, and I'm braking, I'm turning, I'm trying to, and she's looking at me like I'm a jerk, and I'm like, the guy just about killed all of us. And so of course I get out there, and I am, my fuse is pretty short. I'm pretty happy-go-lucky, but I have a super short fuse. So I am enraged at this point, and the road kind of goes down and then back up, and then a stoplight. And at the bottom of the hill, I brought him to a complete stop on this major 4-way road. And I flipped him off, and then I went on my way. And I was kind of done with it. But of course, at the top of the hill, I got stopped at the light. And here he comes chugging up. And he opens his door, and he gets out, and he turns around, and he's rummaging underneath his seat, and he turns around, he's got the little mini sledge, whatever those things are called, the regular size hammer with the big head.
Yeah.
And he starts menacingly walking towards me.
Mallet.
It's winter. So I have my Carhartts on. I have everything on. I'm 6'5". Back then I was probably pushing 300 pounds. I get out of my car and same thing. He immediately stops. And I tell him, you better turn around and get back into your truck, or I'm going to bury you where you stand. And he's like, well, you should watch where you're going. And he walked
away. See you, John.
Hey, John, we'll talk to you. Oinky's here. I missed Oinky.
Hi, Oinky.
Oh, yeah, we only got 6 minutes. He's probably getting ready for his show.
Lori, whole bunch of people. J-Rock. J-Rock said something here. A good car is one that starts every day and gets from point A to point B. I don't care what it looks like. That's where I'm at today. Michelle drives. I don't even have a car anymore. I don't need one. So we got rid of my car. Michelle's got a little SUV, little Chevy Trax. It's a nice little car.
Reliability, that's the big thing.
It's a 2020, so it's a little bit, older, and it's not old, but just a little bit older. And it's a good little car, and we actually have 3 cars now because Ariel's got her own. And Aiden, my buddy gave Aiden a car too. He's got a minivan. So we have a minivan now.
So you can haul things.
Yeah, SUV that's about the same storage space really when it comes down to it, even though that, just
the minivan doesn't the seats fold down?
Yeah, so it's a little bit more, but not like a ton. We don't carry a lot of big stuff anyways. Either it's way big, or we'll fit in the SUV.
Right.
Ariel's actually in the UK right now. She
she went over the pond, huh?
She comes home today. She's been gone for a week.
Oh, how fun is that?
She because her husband still lives over there, so she went to visit him for a week because they haven't seen each other in forever. He's supposed to be here this year for good, but I don't know. It seems like it's taken way too long.
Well,
I've never heard it taken this long.
it's tough to get your citizenship here. My boss just got his, and it's taken him, I don't know, 8-9 years, something like that.
But didn't he live here while he was doing it?
Yes, he was able to get a visitation, whatever that work. Yeah, if he gets a
Green
job
card.
here, I think yeah.
And I'm not sure why her husband doesn't do that so he can just stay here, but he comes over for 90 days on a visa and goes home after 90 days. And I mean, they're married. They got married in the UK, so
Thank you, Lori.
maybe Dee Dee. What's up, Steven? I'm with you, man. It's just one of those days. I'm sleepy too. I went to bed very early last night.
Yeah, he did. Didn't even answer me at 8:30 at night.
Oh, I mean, we went in. Michelle was tired too. So again, my daughter being in the UK, we've got her dog, and her dog is a Chihuahua. It's a little high strung, and it's Mister, and I don't know. She's just been keeping us awake. So neither one of us have been sleeping a whole lot. And then they all got sick. Wally got super sick, and we were worried about him. He actually had a fever, and he was shaking and stuff. I was going to take him to the vet the next day, but luckily he was fine the next day. And then she got it too. So of course she got it while, her owner was in the UK.
Of course.
So anyways, we went to bed like at 6:30 last night. It's crazy early. We watched an episode of Resident Alien, then went to bed, and I didn't wake up until like 10 o'clock this morning.
Was it intentional go to sleep at 6:30, or was it you passed out in your recliner at 6:30?
No, we were out in the living room watching, and Michelle goes, "You know what? I think I'm done." And I was like, "It's 6:30." David's laughing at us, because we're just old people, and I mean, we ate dinner like at 5 last night. It was so early. It's just, yeah.
Yeah. Well, as soon as I sent you the text, I was like, "Oh hell, he's sleeping. There's no way he's still awake."
All right, I'm going to read you part of Whip's text because it made me laugh. So here, we're going to read part of it. I'm going to share it with y'all. I said y'all. All right, here we go. Let's see. Here we go. So yeah, it was only 9:30 my time. He said, "Are you up for a live stream tomorrow morning?" Then he said, "Shit, you're probably sleeping. You look good though. So peaceful. Not even drooling much." I was like, creepy pluggers watching me. Joke's on him though. I drool a lot. Oinky had a Yugo. Yeah, the Yugo Nowhere. I remember those. What am I doing wrong? Car breaking down every time. I just kept saying, "What am I doing wrong?"
You bought a Yugo. That's what you did wrong.
That was like a political thing. The Yugos. They were trying to help out. What was then Yugoslavia, and
to break free, right?
And it didn't. The cars were not good. Whip has maybe a third camera at Rico's house.
Right. Where I didn't even see that. That's funny.
About to go to my LFS and get some RO water. I'm glad I don't deal with that too much. It just sounds like a pain. I know a lot of people, take care of all that, the water, and
Ross,
I've just always gotten fish that like my harder water. Even though it limits me quite a bit, it's still, I'm so lazy. It's just easier.
No, it's not lazy. That's just, if you have to jump through that many hoops, you're not going to be in the game long, unless you are just a diehard. I couldn't do it. There's no way. I swapped over the 14-gallon to RO water. It's not even RO water. It's spring water. I go fill up 2 10-gallon or 2 5-gallon. The jug things. Yeah.
Carboys.
And that one I've been able to switch over because there's nothing in there but plants and a couple of guppies. And I've been slowly switching over. I know I've been saying it for a while, and it's got to be getting close to being. I don't have to worry about it much longer. But now I turn off the softener and I bypass it. But I only do little water changes now because I don't want to shock the fish.
while
and
you're
lose
going through
anybody.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's been a slow process,
yeah.
but yeah, it's I can't imagine it's going to be much longer before I can just say I can try plants again. Maybe they'll live this time. I don't know.
Yeah, I bet you. I bet you. Yeah, because our water is incredibly hard. I don't do any. Every once in a while, when it rains, I do. I'll go get a bucket, a 5 gallon bucket. I'll put outside and let it fill up, and then split it half and half with the well water just to break it a little bit. Because it's that hard. That water is that hard. Like the EPA says, 500 parts per million, or is it TDS? Whatever the measuring thing is, the unit is, they say 500. Ours is like 468. So we're right there to where it's not even safe to drink.
Right. That's
And we don't drink
ours.
it.
Ours is high. I know ours is high because when I showed the strip to Stephen and Kelly, they both went, "Damn!" No wonder you can't grow plants. But
Rack. What's
I
up,
have
Rack?
no idea. What?
Rack is here.
Rack is here. Holy cow, he is.
Rackaroni. And there's
I
Coral.
love it when we get celebrities in.
TDS 300 is still pretty high for Ross. Yeah, that's still pretty high, right? I mean, that's not crazy high, but ours is like 486. I haven't tested it in forever.
Yeah, I don't test for it. I know nitrates, I know nitrites, and I know ammonia. I don't give a crap about anything else.
I don't. I haven't tested any tanks in well over a year.
Sven.
Probably 2 years. I haven't tested a single tank. I don't have any issues. The fish.
I don't either.
Again, I'm not breeding any fish other than my guppies, but and my godaids are breeding like crazy. But none of my the egg scatters, egg layers, none of those are really breeding. But I don't try either. I don't put anything in there. They're all in community tanks. They're all mixed in with a bunch of other fish. So, but nobody. I'm not losing anything. Everything's healthy and happy and doing
My
good.
only issue in the whole room. Hey, Zen made it. She slept in too. Zenny.
Good to see you.
I have one issue, and that is my Salvini.
750. What? Greg, sorry. He just said the TDS is 750.
That should be like criminal, isn't it?
Is it like gel?
It comes out like ketchup.
It's pebbles of water. What were you saying now? The Salvinia?
My Salvinia is probably going to lose its eye. I don't know what happened. The water test's fine. But yeah, his eye is all cottony.
Oh, yeah. One of my Denison barbs had that for a while.
I don't know. I mean, I do water changes on it twice a week. That one probably is already, because I do twice a week on that one. That one's probably good to go if I wanted to put plants in it. Problem is I can't put plants in it because
they'll just destroy them.
They'll destroy them. I mean, I've got the silver dollars in there that would eat them in about 8 seconds. So, I mean, you can't see it probably because it's too dark, but there's pothos up here, and the roots had grown out of the hang on the back, and we're all through. I mean, they were from this hang on the back, and then flowing throughout the tank all the way over here. And in 3 days, I put my silver dollars over here because I was going to try to do the Central Americans over there and the South Americans here. 3 days, they had them back out of the water. I mean, completely gone. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And then, of course, all the leaves died on the thing and everything.
Yeah. Well, at least they got some salad.
Yeah. So anyway, I suppose Johnny No Shoes is on the go here.
We're 5 minutes over.
Yeah, I'm stepping on his toes. He didn't go last week. That's why we went 3 hours, and that was fun. But I don't anticipate doing that again anytime soon. So I will bid you all a fond farewell, and we'll call it the day. Y'all have a good day, and bye.
Yeah.
Anything
Go.
you want to say
Get
there,
out of here.
Rico?
Go. Just leave. Go, people. Get out of here.